This is Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on the DAZN.
How are you, mate?
Romford, good to see you, my friend. Is this your Stomping Ground debut?
Stomping Ground debut, it is, yeah. Headed up by Charlie P and big Oscar Bevis. Exciting times ahead.
Are you not disappointed that Charlie didn't feel your fight week was worthy and decided to take a trip to sunny Dubai?
And why is he in Dubai? What's the reason, you told me?
He's interviewing Abdu Rozik, a man who is an eighth of your size, I reckon.
I see how it is, Charlie. It's all right, mate. Don't worry. I'll come to Cirencester after some roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, and we can chew the fat, you know. We can walk along Bolton on the water. Have it large.
Have it large in the crown, that's what he would say.
Anyone can look hard in the fucking Cotswolds, can't they?
True. True. I mean, he can't, but anyone else can. Is this, I don't want to say a pinch yourself moment, because I know you have always believed this is the sort of place you would be. But you're about to headline the Copper Box, or the Copper Bosch. You're going to have a serious number of the Romford Army in attendance. You're fighting a man who, in Alen Babic, will bring the fire, so it's got to be an exciting fight. Is it a little bit pinch yourself?
No, it's not. I'm meant to be here. This is where my destiny has brought me, and my job is to fight Alen Babic. It doesn't matter if it was in a car park or it's in the Copper Box or it's in Wembley. I've got to beat Alen Babic, so there's no pinch myself moment. I'll pinch myself after. In a minute, I've got to beat Alen Babic. And it don't matter where that is. It could be in an IKEA flat pack furniture shop, you know, it doesn't matter.
Well, it is in the Copper Bosch. What sort of fight are you expecting? Because when you talk to people about Saturday night, everyone seems to say the exact same thing. It's going to be a shootout, and we probably ain't going to see anything past 3 or 4.
I've resigned myself, and I've convinced myself that it's going to be 10 fast-paced, horrible rounds that I've got to get ready for. So anything less than that, it's easier than that. Do you know what I mean? If you prepare yourself for the hardest tests, you prepare well, you know? And that's what I'm expecting. 10 rounds, he's going to be on my chest, he's going to be trying to get all over me. But the problem for him in that instance is he's going to be in range of me as well. So it's not a good place to be.
What do you make of him as a person?
I think he's a good person. We're enemies for the
There's
until
been some
Saturday.
Quite good, say like banter.
Yeah,
he's a quite good banter.
Not intentionally. I'm just being myself, and Alan does what he does, and I don't take it personally in any way, anything that happens. But until Saturday, we're enemies. That's the bottom line. And win, lose or draw, as I am a sportsman, a gentleman, I try and be as much as I can. I will shake his hand afterwards. That's what it's all about. It's all about. That's what sport's all about. But until that day, we're not friends. We're enemies.
Would it be fair to say that you've been a fan of watching Alen Babic because of his fan-friendly style?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I said, like, when I used to watch the shows in lockdown, if the old Babic is on, yeah, he'll come and give it a good go. You know, he's going to be entertaining, and that will bring something for the fans coming to watch on Saturday night. But I wouldn't say I was a fan. I was always someone who admired him. We've been on the same couple of shows a couple of times, but now it's time to do battle. So all that goes out the window.
What did you make of his performance in Poland? Stepped up to that Bridgerweight world title level and come unstuck, but come unstuck doing what he does, come unstuck, coming forward, being a bit rash. What did you make of his
I don't read too much into it, because we're big guys, cruiserweight, Bridgerweight, heavyweight, anyone could get caught. Don't read into it too much, other than the fact that I know if I hit him, he's going to go down. That's all I can read into that. It's a run-round job. He got beat, and that can happen. Anybody can walk into the ring and get chinned and get caught. But all that tells me is I can hurt him.
Was this the next logical step for you? Did it make sense? Alen does have a bit of a name, been on some big shows, like we said, exciting fighter. Was this the right step for you at this time?
I think it's a good step. There's no right or wrong way with your career. You just got to go with every step that comes next, and it was a logical step, as you said. It wasn't one that we thought, oh yeah, we've got this in the plan, it's always going to be this. Things happen. I think that's the best thing that's happened with my career. I don't stress about what's the next step, 2 or 3 down the line. All that matters is the next fight. Everyone asks about the next steps. None of that matters unless you get the job done, and then the path becomes clearer after that, you know?
It's quite a boxing thing though, isn't it? Like, I can imagine today, people will ask you about 5, 6, 7 different guys in and around your way, in and around the scene.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is quite a boxing
it's
thing.
It's going to happen.
People will look forward to this fight, but even before the fights happen, they'll be talking about what's going to happen in the next 6 months, the next 18 months.
That's the nature of the business, and that's why boxing's exciting. There's always names going to be bandied about. But for me as a professional athlete, a professional boxer, if I start thinking ahead, anyone who thinks ahead, you could be a military strategist, you could be a general, and you think you're going to beat this force that's in front of you and think about the next force it goes wrong. Do you know what I mean? You can't think too far ahead. You've got to think about the next step, and that's all that matters.
Are you a prediction man?
Not really.
You know,
I just think I'll win any means necessary. That's all that matters. It could be the round 1, it could be round 10, it could be a points victory, it could be a knockout in the first 30 seconds. That's why we watch the big boys, you know.
Well, I was going to ask, if I had a little bit of spare change in my pocket, I'm walking into the bookies tomorrow, where do I put it? And don't just say Johnny Fisher win. Some detail. Give me some detail.
I think the probability of a knockout is high. It could be in the first half. I think that's if you're going to put your money somewhere. If I was going into the shop and I was a paying customer going to watch the fight and I was walking in, bet good win, or I was making a bet with fair play exchange, I'd say a knockout in the first 6 rounds. But as a professional athlete, I'm prepared myself for 10 horrible, grueling rounds.
I like that. It's quite smooth.
Smooth operator.
Smooth. The copper box or the copper bosh, as we've said.
Or bet over. And the prize guy. All the betting boys. Bash.
The copper box. Beyond the copper box, there aren't many bigger places you can headline in the UK, especially ones local to yourself.
Yeah.
It is quite mental, the fact that you're headlining the copper box.
It's a brilliant feeling. It's an honour. It's a privilege as well. The testament to the people that pay their hard-earned money to support me. If you told me a couple of years ago, when I was first year in my career, doing 4s and 6 rounders, I could have never have dreamed of it. But everything becomes clearer, as I said. You don't envision these things when you're early on. And I'm just excited to do it. And I'll look back in 10, 15, 20 years' time when I'm not boxing anymore and I might have kids of my own. I've got to get a second date first, as my dad always says. But it's a wonderful thing, and that's what it's all about, you know, making memories.
Have you got a special ring walk planned?
A little bit.
Are we going to hear, oh, country?
That's going to be there, of course, but
it's got to be, innit?
I don't
now.
like all the, you know, like people come out with trumpets or rappers walking them out. It's a privilege and people want to go and do that. I think, yeah, it's up to you, but I like keeping it simple. And the music by itself can do it for you. And I think the crowd, the way they are, they'll get up for anything. So I'll keep it simple, but it's always going to be special because of the fans, you know?
Yeah. Mate, and once England smash Switzerland to bits as well, it's going to be even louder.
Swiss bosh.
In there.
Milka bosh.
Have you been watching the Euros?
I have been watching the Euros, and
what have you made so far? Mate, there's a lot of negativity.
There is negativity
around England, but we're in the quarterfinals.
We're in the quarterfinals, but play with a bit of flair, play with a bit of passion, you know. This is England. There's always something with England that's holding us back, you know. And I think the defence has been really good. Mark Gehi, I know we're going to miss him out in the next game. He's been absolutely brilliant. I just think Southgate, I don't know, is he a tactical genius, keep not making any subs when he did, and then Bellingham comes and belts it in the 95th minute? Or do we need to see a bit more proactivity from the manager?
Mate, unless you're the Oracle, you cannot predict what Jude Bellingham done.
No, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. I was 1 minute behind everyone else on my group chat as well because I was on a live stream. And, I just couldn't believe it. But I just think the manager's got to be a bit proactive. He's playing players out of position, but he's had an easy run, I think, Southgate. I think the best win we've got is against Germany in 2022 or 2021, who were faltering, you know, who weren't very good. But we've had an easy run. But we're in the position we are in now. We've got to make it count. We're in the quarterfinals. We've got Switzerland in the quarterfinals, for God's sake. Come on, we've got to beat them. And then the semi-final, you know you're going to play a good team. So we've been here so many times since 2018. I remember being in the airport lounge at Iron Appa, seeing Trippier score that free kick and thinking we won it, and then I get on the plane and then we miss the second half and then he puts the announcement in that we've lost. I remember being in the pub, seeing us all miss all them free penalties. We've been here so many times. Just give us something. Give us something. Come on.
And there's nothing like England heartbreak. We should beat Switzerland. They're not amazing, but their flag is a big plus.
I just think we don't. Yeah. Go on.
The Euros and the general election and a busy weekend. Why is your fight the most important thing that happens on these shores?
I don't think it is the most important thing. Is that an answer you wanted? I don't think it is the most important thing.
It wasn't, but that's quite a level-headed answer.
I don't think I'm the most important thing. I don't think this fight is the most important thing. But to me it is. It might not be to other people. In my world it is. But I know that don't extend to everyone else. I'm just grateful that people that want to come and support, I'll try and put on a show. We've got the bat and ball before. We've got the bat and ball after. We've got England, New Zealand in the rugby. We've got England playing in the football. We've got Formula 1. I'm not a Formula 1 fan, but someone else said that's on in the day. It's Henry's birthday. Not that matters because it's all about me. But, I'm just excited for a great day of sport and hopefully we can top it all off with the win. If not, you're going to be entertained either way.
Mate, bring it on.
Bring it on.
I want to ask you one more thing before I let you go. Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. Break that down for me.
Brilliant fight. I was on Sky Sports yesterday. Daniel Dubois can seriously whack, so do not write him off. A lot of people saying, the experience of Joshua, yeah, I probably agree. But if he lands on your chin, you're going to feel it. His jabs are like right hands busting your face up. And that right hand it shakes you to your boots, I'm telling you. Same with Joshua. I think Joshua's the favourite going into it. But Daniel Dubois, if he can stick it on him early, you don't know what's going to happen, you know?
I think after the Hrgovic fight, the narrative is that Daniel might be quite easy to hit.
Yeah, I thought that. And I was sparring Hrgovic for this fight. And I thought, bloody hell, we started off well here. He told me afterwards he had the flu in that fight, got cut early on. But Dubois came through the storm no matter what. If you're not fit, maybe don't fight, you know what I mean? But you can't have a choice at that level. You've got to take the risk. And Dubois just weathered the storm. He was so fit. His work rate is unbelievable, I think, for a big guy.
Does he move quickly? He looks like he's got quite deceivingly quick
Dubois'
feet.
footwork, just coming in and out of range a few inches either way, is second to none. I think that's his strength, going backwards and forwards slowly. But I think if you give him something else to think about, that's what you've got to try and do. Give him a different look. Joe Joyce gave him something to think about, just a different look, not get engaging too much. That's where you can beat him. But I like Daniel Dubois. I've sparred him loads of times. I like Don Charles, what a man he is. Joshua, obviously, I'm a massive fan of. It's a great fight for British boxing, and what a spectacle that will be at Wembley. Hamza Shiraz on that card as well, I'm also a big fan of.
Mate, it's a wicked card. What did you make of Daniel's little, if you want to go, let's go now?
I liked it. I like the...
Do you think it was real?
I think it was real.
Do you think it come from the heart?
I think it did. He said, I think Dubois is a warrior. And I thought Joshua, I like what he said, he coming straight back at him. And I've seen little things about when there's little memes coming up, when the two teachers have got to use the IT room, and he's saying, do you want to go now? Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? I thought it was really good. I thought Eddie and Frank were a little bit shivering their timbers a little bit. But that's what we want to see. We want to see that spiteful Joshua, and there's a renaissance of Joshua, and I think people sleep on him a bit, and now they're waking up, you know?
Anyone would shiver in between them two.
Shiver my timbers.
Final thing, can I put a prediction on you for that fight?
I think Joshua, late stoppage, is the logical answer, but don't hold me to that.